Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Manufacturing E-commerce Success Series. I am your co-host, Damon Pistolka, and with me today, brother from another mother, Curt Anderson. Well, most of you know today that we were going to have Gabe on here. Well, yeah, I got to go that way, don't I? I was doing it like this, and now I'm going the exact opposite way. Well, thanks, everyone, for being here today. We were going to have Gabe on here, and something came up, and he may still be able to join us, but Curt and I decided we were going to go live anyway. And Dan, yes, we were 2 minutes late. Curt, how are you doing today? You took time away from the beach. I can tell you've been getting good sun.
Oh, dude, I'm not
You're
really
glowing.
I'm like pink, So, guys, happy Good Friday, Damon. It's awesome to see you, my friend. It's always wonderful to be on the program with you. So, happy Friday to everybody. Great, wonderful weekend, whatever you're celebrating. And so, this is great to be here, man. We apologize. We had the LinkedIn live stream expert today, and Gabe ran into some challenges, so we're hoping that he could join us today. But we're going to dig into let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn Live here, Damon, for a couple minutes. And so, guys, if you're not familiar with this handsome guy over here, so this is Damon Pistolka. Damon is the co-founder of Exit Your Way, growth and exit strategy specialist. And Damon, you've really stepped up your LinkedIn game over the past several years. I know you were a LinkedIn social media skeptic. Last week, you had an amazing program with Kelly Berry, and you were talking about she has a fantastic program about digital marketing for skeptics. That was you several years ago. So let's get into your journey. Why did you decide to you didn't double down, you quadrupled down on LinkedIn. And as you were building a great, healthy audience, you become, in my humble opinion, an influencer, nice and LinkedIn influencer. But just share about what inspired you to go this direction, and what has LinkedIn done for you in your business?
Well, first of all, I refuse to be called an influencer because I'm just me. And that's just the way it is. We all know that. There's got to be a better word, because whenever I see...
I have one. Okay. Damon, you are not an influencer, though I think you are. I'm going to say that you are a LinkedIn positive influence. How's that?
There we go. If I can do that, I'm happy.
Drop the mic there, right? You are a LinkedIn positive influence, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's
take that.
Talk about your LinkedIn journey, and just share a little bit about how you got in LinkedIn, why you doubled down. You've built a really phenomenal audience, and you deliver value on a daily basis. Let's go there, brother.
Well, I got into it by accident. There was no big thought around it. I saw people going live, and it was in 2019. Somebody talked to me about, hey, you should do videos. And I said, look at me. I don't want to be on video. Nobody wants to talk to me. And they said, no, really, you've been around a bit, obviously got some mileage. And they were like, you've done a lot of things in business, and there's just, you talk about stuff that you've done or the situations you've been in, and people like to hear that and learn from it. And somebody actually, and not trying to sell me, but they said, you should put together these courses or whatever and do that. And I was like, no way, no how. But I did start doing video when the pandemic really hit. I sat down one day with my partner, Andrew, in our business, and we were like, we've been in these situations in business where things really happen that are super tough, and we know how to help people. And we just started having conversations with people over Zoom. And then I applied for LinkedIn Live, got it on our company page. I don't know why they gave it to us on our company page, but wouldn't give it to me until I had and that's when you had to apply, and there was still a lot of hoop we get around it. And then we started doing live streams with our own company stuff. And then I had the crazy idea to start the Faces of Business, which is really where we had a lot of fun with it. And then you and I, which is the exciting part in this, we started doing them. And then it's like, you and I, it's like Mutt and Jeff, like you said before, we're those little guys on the Muppets that they see.
Right. That's right.
But enough about me, because Gabe got in here. We're putting Gabe online right now. Awesome. So he's down there smiling. We're talking about it. But first, Curt, what are your plans for the weekend? Because you are in sunny Florida, getting some sun. What's happening?
Sunny Florida, you know what? Heading back home to the family, little Easter weekend. Gotta get my dog. You know how I am with my dog. So
Yep,
what are you
your
going?
buddy.
What are you doing for Easter weekend?
Hey, you know, we have a tradition out here on Easter weekend. We spend time with family, and we're actually going to go up. This is a time when the snow geese are migrating through our area,
Yep.
and it's amazing when you see tens of thousands of snow geese going around and have a few beers. So that's what you do on Easter Sunday. I know it's a lot different than others, but that's what we're going to do. So Gabe got in here. Gabe's ready to go. Curt, let's bring him in and let's get rolling.
10 biggers.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Great, Gabe.
Hey, there he is. Gabe is in the house.
Yes.
Oh,
Gabe,
man.
Hey, my friend, how are you?
Wonderful. It feels like ages since I've done one of these. As many as I've done, it feels like ages since I've done it. So, one of the cool things about live streaming, it's almost like riding a bike. Once you've done it a few times, even if you take a break, you hop on, the muscle reflexes are there, everyth's still there to kind of continue to, get here, start talking, being in front of a camera. So, those are the things that are pretty natural once you've kind of got a handle on being able to do a live stream. It's a fun experience, and it only gets better with what you guys do with practice. I'm pretty sure that you guys have seen how you've progressed from first.
We have a lot to go, man. We're pretty rough.
Yeah.
But no, this is great, Gabe. So, guys, I just want to give a quick intro. Not that you really need an introduction, but we have Gabe Leo, the real deal. How did I did the Damon? Did you? I know, and I gave.
That's
I'm sure
awesome. You're throwing in the wrestling references in there. Yeah,
I'm sure you hear that all the time. But this is Gabe. You are, man, just so generous, so sincere, just such a rock star with your content, your generosity, supporting the LinkedIn live stream community. Guys, please connect with Gabe on LinkedIn. And Gabe, a couple of things I want to start with. Damon, I was like doing this. You go on Gabe's profile and you go down to the bottom and you check out those little testimonials. You know who gave him a raving testimonial? Our dear friend Charlene Brown. We just had Charlene on the program. We had her on twice in the past month. And she says Gabe is a tremendous wealth of information, quote, game changer. Totally was a game changer for her. Numerous people are talking about you being so generous, giving, expert in LinkedIn Live. Just let's hear a little bit about Gabe. I know you're a modest guy, but share a little bit about your background and how you went this direction with your career, Gabe.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, this is what it's been all about from pretty much the beginning. And starting and wanting to share and create a platform. It just happened to be here on LinkedIn, but to create a platform to talk about people who can be open and creative. And that's where the genesis of where my first ideas to actually come on a live stream and kind of put things together. And I really think, I think part of it has kind of evolved, kind of like what we do as creators. We start seeing a path form, we start changing, things, nothing ever goes in a straight line. It's always zig to zag to zig to zag. And how you start out and where you are at now, it's just part of the curve and where you're going and figuring out, hey, this path that I'm blazing here and walking, it's still winding and it's still, there's still parts that are brushed that are still haven't been treaded on yet, but you're going to get there. I think that's where, for me, as a creator, when I first started doing this is where I've seen myself kind of come to. And I think the big part of me wanting to share other people doing it is because, in a way, it is sort of selfish, because I learn from other people. So the more people that you're able to watch, the more people you're able to see, the more people that you're able to kind of go, oh man, I love what this individual does, or that's a really great idea. Or just watching these sometimes or listening to some of these events, it sparks another level of creativity. And that's what I'm really, what I really love to talk about. And what's really important to me is to get people to understand, hey, I'm a normal guy. I wake up every morning. I put one pan in the same way the other, shoes, everything else that everybody else does. It's just the fact that what I get to do, and what I hope other people get to do is understand and learn that, they have these same abilities, the same opportunities to get up and do something like this. If that's what your calling is out of life, if that is what you feel that is really sparking you, then I think that's where you need to kind of approach coming into a platform here like LinkedIn and becoming a content, not just on LinkedIn, but on any platform really, is how to become a creator and share what what your powerful knowledge is and what you share differently, apart from everybody else. I've been blessed and lucky to like know and get to meet people like Damon, who I've known for a while because of live streaming, and getting to see the evolution of what this is becoming here. It's becoming something so really powerful that people are really understanding now that it's become a part of their creation, their content strategy, their business strategies now. Apart from just coming on a camera and talking, I think really we do have the pandemic to thank for a lot of this expedited technology, these these features and all the cool things that we're able to do because of people wanting to say, oh man, they saw opportunity, and they took the jump at it. And that's what this is all about, is saying, hey guys, you want me being able to share. It's just it's just another part of me extending of what I've always done as a person in real life. I try to do that here for other people here in the community, and I love that like LinkedIn now has the ability. This is what we push for. This was the whole idea behind the calendar, is that now you guys have an events tab on your profile. Don't know if you've checked it out yet, but if you go to your profile now, you have an events tab. Guess what? Now we're finding discoverability is going to be a lot easier. This is what we've been pushing for years. As a live stream creator, from where I started on this platform to where I see it now, I'm cheering, because this is big stuff for us, because this is not how I had to start doing things when I started on this platform. I actually had to create a post. I had to post it every day. I had to tag people. I had to do all of these things just for people to come and watch and see what I was about. And I think this is now, again, the technology, the ability, what people are actually looking for. This is it. This is where we're getting to here on LinkedIn. And I think this is where a lot of people who come here searching for more than just an opportunity to find employment, or finding other ways to kind of now, people have built businesses off of this platform. They started their brands. They've started all these other things. So, there's just so much that I think a lot of people are now starting to see that are, again, to me, it's wonderful. And I love that I've gotten to be a part of this so far, and still excited to see where it's still left to kind of go.
That's awesome, Gabe. So a couple of shout outs to everybody here on this wonderful Good Friday. We got Trish in the house. Dan Biggers at his daughter's volleyball game.
We'll give him a little.
Dan Biggers here with us. We've got Adam. We've got Don.
Adam's here.
So this is awesome.
Don's in Alaska. He said the Alaskan internet is having trouble today.
Oh,
so he's not going to be able to listen. But
Alaska, sorry.
Yeah.
So Gabe, let's go here. So again, guys, connect with Gabe on LinkedIn, and you are the pioneer, founder, # LinkedIn live streams.
Yeah.
Question for you, Gabe. I know you have a B2B industrial background. Why LinkedIn? You could be on Facebook. You could be on other platforms. What inspired you to really double down on LinkedIn?
Because I saw that there was a big opportunity here. I've multi-streamed to all the other platforms. You name it. Facebook, I've been there. YouTube, been there. Twitch, I've been there. Twitter, you name it, I've streamed there. I've gone there and I've done live streams and I've been a part of it. What I found was different though is here on LinkedIn, the ability to kind of build not only a network but build relationships has been a lot easier for me. And I think that's for what I see for a lot of people who come here on the platform. I mean, I'm starting to see other creators migrate here from other places. And, that's for them the part of it because number one, above all, we are still here in 2022. Let me find, I'm not breaking any news here, but we are still a networking platform, right? So that is the main idea that a lot of people come here apart from, being a recruiter, being a sales manager, being some, part of those lines there. So people will come here now knowing that LinkedIn is a really great place to start building connections and start finding people. Again, if you're in the sales industry and you're looking for clients or like-minded people or people that corporate entities that are going to match what you're trying to look for as a provider, what better place? I mean, you come here, you can come find these people. You can not only find these people, you're going to find people that are not readily available on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or, you can go find a CEO of a company that you're looking for and almost have very direct access to him. Where else can you have the ability to do something like that where, I can reach out to this individual and, I might actually get a response back, not through a secretary, not through through a secondary means of connectivity. You might be able to actually connect with that individual because they might be coming on here talking about a product, or they might be talking about a service, or they might be on a live stream, and you get direct access to some of these individuals.
Yeah, that is an amazing part about LinkedIn, and oftentimes, we forget about that. So say somebody that could be your idol, could be the person you really want to talk to. They post something, you can comment on their post. Where the heck are you going to ever get that? It doesn't matter. Just name somebody. Right. I mean, because just by commenting, and somebody told me this several years ago, they said, just by commenting, you're going to become on somebody's radar. And I saw a friend of mine a few years ago. He politely stalked Gary Vaynerchuk for, I don't know how long, right? Making thoughtful comments, thoughtful this, thoughtful that for months. Gary mentioned him in a video, mentioned him how he was doing. It's like, who the heck? How the heck? Never met him. Never went to an event where he was at, nothing, but he was going. I still remember the video. Gary was going from an airport in a car, going somewhere someday. And he mentioned him, said, "Hey, this is a really great idea. Thanks for the input," whatever the heck it was. But, you get direct access to whoever the heck you want.
And that's where for me, I saw strategically a way to kind of build out to other creators here. Is to finding ways to direct access and, hey, again, hopping here on a live stream, hopping here on a post and making comments and still being able to reach out to folks. I mean, again, this is what this platform, I think, does a little bit differently than some of the other platforms. I mean, you still have the ability to do them on other platforms, but I think this has it where, again, if somebody reaches out to you on Facebook, people still see it more of, hey, that's where I go for my personal stuff, or I keep my family photos, or I keep all these other things. So if this individual is reaching out to me and trying to pitch me or whatever, for whatever reason, it's going to seem a little bit more odd where here on LinkedIn, where, hey, this is, again, a business platform. We are a networking platform. Someone reaches out to you. Okay. Yeah. You know what? You might get a pitch in a DM. Yeah. But, it might be something that you're, again, interested in, or you might be just a smidge more open to it or connecting to that individual because of it. And that's I think that's part of what the magic of this platform has to offer, and why I think it's continuing to grow every single year. More and more people, more and more followers, more people joining the platform, becoming active here. And they see it now as as a value. And I think that's where, other than just coming here and placing my resume or my CV and hoping to land a job. I mean, to me, this is where people come to look for open source branding. You know, people come here for, again, they come here for that bigger than some of the other platforms, because they again, a lot of pages, a lot of businesses here, a lot of branding companies, they have their business pages here. They have all the corporate stuff that they use here through LinkedIn. So that's where I think it's the advantage of, hey, not only is this like becoming a social media platform, it still has the business aspect to what it is. And that's why I keep telling people, hey, you're getting out here, you're creating your live streaming, and there's an advantage to it that I think you don't quite get on some of the other platforms. And that's just in my humble opinion, of how I can connect here more easily with a lot of other people.
Yeah, Gabe, and you're doing a phenomenal job. And your company's M Pro Media Group, and you're a video strategist and LinkedIn live stream expert. And now let's talk about a few things that you have going on. So you do a TGIF, I believe, every Friday. You're doing a LinkedIn Live yourself. So you're not just talking the talk, you're walking the walk by LinkedIn. And you also let's talk about your daily LinkedIn guide, man. I absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
LinkedIn
awesome.
Live stream guide. It is so powerful. If anybody isn't subscribed, strongly encourage, invite, welcome you to subscribe to his LinkedIn Live. Damon, go ahead.
And then hit the bell too, because I was on your profile this morning and I realized I hadn't hit the bell on your profile, because you want to do that.
Yeah.
Because your live stream guide, dude, it is awesome. It is absolutely incredible. I can't tell you how many times I go in there and just look at it just to go, okay, what's up today?
Yeah.
And the group itself. It's just so good.
I think that was that, and a big part of that was because there was, again, I felt like there were things that were missing.
Yeah.
And I, as a live stream, not only as a live stream creator, but as a consumer of live streams, I think that was a big one as well, is that I didn't get, I wasn't finding what I wanted to see on the platform. And that was where, like, the idea to kind of start putting all of these together in the first place. And and I gotta say, there's been other people that have come along that journey and sort of helped me manicure this a little bit better. But even now, I mean, there's the guide's got a finite point, because like I said, LinkedIn is now, thank God they're starting to do this. But guys, if you start following a lot of events now, if you wanted to go follow live streams, if you wanted to go find creators, number one, you can now click their bell, follow it, see what they do is somebody that interests you. And then if they're going live all the time, like you guys do on the regular, I mean, now you guys can subscribe to your events. I mean, you can just click the attend button in your events, and then in your profile, and I don't know if this is available yet. I've actually been out of the loop for about a week, so I'm just telling the truth. But there's been a few updates like that now. So when you go to your profile page, I believe that when you go to your LinkedIn page and look at your profile here, you can now find, again, all the events that you, I think, have subscribed to. So I'm going to show on my phone so people can see.
I'll check it out here. Yeah.
As you can see, there's the pages that I manage. And then if you go to, you see groups now that are part of where you do. So I don't know if this is just mobile. And if you click the events now, look at this. Oops. This. Now it has all your live stream, anything that it's almost, they've taken the concept of what I've been doing with the guide.
Yeah.
And making it more widespread, which is what I wanted in the first place, because I think as creators, that was a big part of it, is that people wanted to find discoverability. Right. So now, instead of them just having to come follow me, now it is a LinkedIn wide thing, that when you start following a particular sect of people or individuals or live streamers or audio events or whatever it is that you want to go find, Now you have access to it. And that's the most wonderful part about it now.
Yeah.
Is that people now are going to be able to say, I've created an event. XYZ individual attended my event. Now when they go to their events page, boom, here it is. I can go see all the events that I want to go attend and all the ones that I've kind of manicured so that and that's the wonderful part about it is not only that, now you can have all your groups in one place. So they're trying to streamline this process to make it a lot better. I think that's where it's going to become advantageous for us as creators here on the platform. Is that now I don't have to struggle as much. Now there's still a few LinkedIn's got a few things to tweak, but it's maturing into a really useful social media platform that we still have the ability to do all the wonderful things that I've mentioned earlier with making business connections and networking and finding all these things that are again more apt, more openly accepted, because that is what this platform is built upon. This is what this platform is still all about.
Yeah, this is awesome. And so as a pioneer, what I absolutely love, and I don't know if you remember, we were kids back in the 70s. Remember, you get the TV guide in the mail. I don't know about you, but man, during a week, I'm circling what cartoons I was watching.
Yep, exactly.
I know, like, kids today can't relate to that whatsoever because they can watch anything they want at any time. But when Damon and I were kids, we had our TV guide, Kirkland, Scooby-Doo, or whatever we were watching.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's how you planned out. That's how you planned out your evenings, man.
That's how you planned out your
It's Tuesday night. You know what you're watching on Tuesday night.
You're watching. So Gabe, let's go there. So again, if for folks that are this is new to them, they're not familiar, again, what Gabe has done, Gabe is a pioneer. You've really led the charge. You are a champion. So generous, so giving of supporting the LinkedIn live stream community. What he's done is he's created this extremely robust daily guide, and for us older guys, it's just like the old he's listening out. And I'm telling you, like Damon does his many of you know Damon does his Faces of Business. As I mentioned, Gabe does his TGIF. There's all sorts of amazing folks.
Wow, you got so many great creators on there.
We could be here all day.
Oh, it's just awesome.
But as you're driving the ship here, Gabe, and you're really leading the charges of pulling together this community, what inspired you to like, hey, I'm going to be the guy that leads the torch, and like, what was your inspiration there to get this thing going?
I think a big part of it was when I took a bit of a social media break, and I had to sit there and think about like what I wanted to do and what I wanted to see here when I decided to come back. And what I did, I wanted to see a lot more openness, a lot more people being able to find individuals and collaborate with like-minded people who are, part of their industries or part of their sex and part of, so when I started like wanting to put all this together, for me, it started out as just, hey, I want to see more live streamers. Mm-hmm. And then for me, because I'm a big proponent, I've been doing it for a long time. I wanted to see more people like that. Then it kind of matured a little bit more into saying, oh man, I not only do I want to see live streaming now, I want to start seeing people collaborate. I want to see people who are, this individual's part of this thing, and they might know about not this individual. Let's see if they can connect. And so that's part of where the idea of wanting to build out a bigger community, and not only that, offer what I like to say is a little bit of support for individuals who want to get started. Some of us have spent a lot of time being more established, but there was at a point when I started where I was just an unknown commodity. Nobody know me as a LinkedIn live stream expert. Nobody know anything about that, but it took individuals who came along for that particular part of my live streaming journey that would come along and help support me. And I think that's where I really said, you know what, that's the power of what community really does. Yeah. It provides an avenue for people to support. So that's what I wanted to do, because I wanted good creators who come here who may not have had the bigger following, but could connect with people that did, that were a part of another community, and bring them here and say, you know what, man, you start coming here and you showing up and you being active and supporting this community, it's gonna supply you back with more people and more individuals wanting to come and support what you do. And that's really what a lot of that was about, was saying, hey, let's give these individuals, because here's the thing, if you start doing it, and this is just human nature, you start doing something and maybe you don't see the results, you know, that self-doubt kicks in just a little bit. It's like, man, should I continue to do this? I'm not getting people showing up. I'm not, for whatever the reason, right?
Yeah.
And so what I wanted to do was just have a way to say, hey, we got you. Don't worry about it. You come here, be supportive, and you know, we'll give you that little bit of boost to continue to go. Because here's the thing, when you start that journey, again, you progress as a creator. And what you might have to add at the beginning may not be what you have to add in the middle, or where you're present now, and it adds so much more value. I mean, the Damon 2 years ago is not the Damon now of what it is, and what you started doing, Curt, and what you guys have done. It's totally different, right? But when you start, you're like, man, this feels uncomfortable. This feels weird. This feels, all the things. I'm like, but you know what? That's the big part about it, is you get past that. You start finding all these. I mean, you guys, even if you were to quit tomorrow, let's say cold turkey, done. How many experiences are you going to take away from the interviews you've done, the things you learned from other people, all the stuff that you're you're going to have things that are going to carry on beyond just you doing this.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, where I want other people to discover that, is that somewhere down the road, even if you've done 10 episodes, right? And you were to stop 10, that's something down the road that, hey, a year from now, hey, I did a live stream where I was doing a podcast and I got to interview 10 people, and then they had this. They're just something you can always keep with you. And that's, for me, where I want to keep people at least down that track to see. I mean, if you get to a point where it's like, I really can't do this, okay, good. You put in the time and the effort. But if you don't at least give yourself that one chance, that shot to do this, you never know where it's actually going to lead to. So if I'd have given up 2 episodes in and said this conversation never would have manifested, nothing would have we never would have met. I never would have known who you guys are. I never would have had a chance to meet so many wonderful people. And that's for me where I want people to kind of continue that, that journey if they get started. And that's why this community, and why I wanted people to be a part of it, would be a great way to be just supportive. And I think that's, when somebody encourages you, when somebody joins one of your streams, even when it's slow and you get like 1 or 2 comments, at least you feel like, man, I had, that wasn't an uncle or an aunt or brother.
Yeah. Family member.
Mama's here today.
Yeah, Mama's here watching.
Right. You did a great job, son. Apart from that, you get somebody that just shows up and starts mentioning or is commenting and starts being active and seeing what you do. I mean, to me, that's where the magic lies. Where when you find that, and that's where there's so many, again, great people out there that you don't know what they might do, how they might interact with you. I mean, even how you guys met. I mean, there's so many things that just happen if you don't continue that journey, but you gotta start. And that's why I just tell people, hey, get started. You don't have to look professional. You don't have to look pro. No. You don't have to look any of these things. You just got to get started. And if it comes to that point where you're like, okay, I'm ready. I want to mature. I want to develop what I do as a creator. Okay, then you look into investing in microphones and doing all the other fancy shit. You don't need it. You really don't. You just really need to start with a really clear-cut message about what you want to talk about. I think that's probably, then at that point you get a strategy behind it. But talk about something that you guys are going to be passionate about, right? I mean, I think that's what you guys, again, you find people that are in B2B and manufacturing and all these other places and things that that you could probably talk about, ad nauseum. And that's the wonderful part about it.
How about if a brother?
Oh my God, you just said that, and look, this is my brother's on. Oh my goodness.
But
That's hilarious. You said that.
But that's the fun, for me. Hello, Craig. And that's the fun part about all of this is that, you get to set the precedent of what you are going to find interesting and what you want to talk about. And I promise you, you start doing that. Guess what? That's the way this world works. There's probably other people that are probably just as interested and want to talk about it and voice their own thoughts and opinions or ask questions because out of curiosity. So you don't ever stop with just thinking to yourself, oh man, I don't know if anybody would find the stuff that comes in my head and rattles in my mind interesting. That's not the case. You're never not going to know unless you just put it out there and find out that they're like-minded individuals that you may not be in that 100-mile radius that you're at, but guess what? They might be in the 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 100,000 mile radius of where you are, and they're going to find you. And what you say, what you talk about, the things that you share are going to resonate with a particular sect of individuals, and that's what you want. You don't have to please the whole world. You don't have to be, you don't have to be Gary. You don't have to be Joe Rogan. You don't have to be all these individuals that have these huge, massive followings. I think those are people that have, again, a different mindset of how they want to do this. But again, just as an individual to start out, that's for me where, like, as a solo creator, you can pretty much make your own community, make your own world, make your own sort of network here. And if you continue and you're being consistent with it, I think that's where you'll find the magic key that everybody talks about. What is the key to success? What is the one thing? You know what? Just, again, have an idea what you want to talk about and be consistent with it every single time. You do that, you're gonna find traction. Right. You're gonna find people. You're gonna find individuals that, again, your message it connects directly with them in a way that nobody else's will. So that's why, what we do here, guys, is important. Everybody that does these live streams and everybody that does even a video, or people that create written content, that's why it's so important, because I might be able to say one thing 100 times and never connect with with that one person listening, but Damien could come along and say it one time, and whatever it is about the way he says it or the way that he manifests that person reaches them to the core, and that's the magic of it. It's not so much that he did anything super special. It's just that he was meant to kind of be that person to say it that connects with that one individual soul that I can't. And that's why I said enough of people doing these out here. That's how all these networks and connections and everything else, that's how it builds. That's how the relationships form. Mm-hmm. So love it, man.
Man, so oh my goodness, that was
and I do have to back up, and that's why I was laughing so hard, because if people knew how many messages I sent to Gabe over the years going, hey, how does this work? How does that work? How does this work? Hey, what's this do? They would just puke. But thanks so much for not just going, hey, get away from me. Because
well, I think that's I gotta say, it all starts with the gesture of just paying it forward to somebody. Because for me to acquire all this knowledge, where do you think I got it? I got it from somebody else. I just didn't start one day and go, I got it. I'm the creator. I know how to do all these things. It was other people, again, giving me even 5 minutes, or giving me the ample time to ask the questions that I need to ask, and for me to learn and say, wow, I've acquired now another skill set, another piece of knowledge, something else that I'm going to be able to pay it forward to another individual. I always talk about this, and I will always talk about this. It's the circle of reciprocity of you being able to give it back at some point. So be open to it when there's another individual that says, hey man, I love what you guys do. How did you get started? Okay.
There you go. I love helping people do that too.
You got 5 minutes? You got 10 minutes? You got an hour? How long do you need?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and just being generous with, I think being generous with your time outweighs the value of saying, here, I could give you a $200 course to do this, but it still might not be as helpful as you saying, giving them a little bit of instruction or giving again, acquired knowledge or advice that somebody might seek. You know, a course might be perfectly what they need, or they just might need something that you might be able to tell them that, hey, I would shy away from doing it. Okay, cool, why? And then you tell them why or whatever. You know, just little things like that you're not going to be able to take from a 1 hour straight video course. I mean, there's something about the personal side of being able to talk with somebody and helping them out. And without one of my mentors, again, he's not here, but Russ Johns, if he doesn't take, if he doesn't take 2 hours with me, I don't think I'm doing this. I really don't. It took Ken, somebody's kindness and generosity to talk with an individual who's just curious. 2 hours to kind of give them ideas, help them walk through their strategy and everything else. And without it, I'm here and I've been able to pass it forward to other people. And that's what it's still all about for me.
Yeah. Russ is a legend. Yeah.
Russ is awesome. And so, Gabe, let's do this, man. I know we could go on and on. I want to
it's so great.
Be mindful of your time. I know you're super busy, super generous to be sharing your expertise, your knowledge, your passion, your truth with us today. So I want to unpack a couple of things just to kind of recap. First off, we have Gabe here, video strategist, LinkedIn Live expert. His firm is M Pro Media Group. Please reach out to Gabe on LinkedIn. Follow. You want to sign up for his newsletter, his daily LinkedIn Live.
100%. Do it.
Yeah, and you talked about consistency, putting in the reps, not giving up. You know, what I absolutely love, Damon and I preach almost every week, niche. What I love what you've done, Gabe, is like you've really niched down and you're pioneering the way. You're the go-giver. You're shining a bright light on all these other LinkedIn Live. We've benefited tremendously from your generosity. We're deeply in debt and grateful for you and what you do. Share a little bit before we wind up, your superpowers on how you help your clients. If somebody is out there like, hey, man, I'm raising my hand. I could use some of Gabe's superpowers, his expertise. Obviously they can connect with you on LinkedIn, but kind of walk us through that process. How do you help your clients to really shine on their LinkedIn Live and video programs?
Well, number one, though, is, and this goes back to just anything beyond dealing with a client, but like when somebody reaches out and is even curious about putting together a live show and everything else, the first thing you got to ask them is why. Why do you want to do this? I think you find the genesis of your why, then everything else can start being developed. If it is, I am doing this for money reasons, okay, then you have to probably take a different strategy. If you're saying, oh, I'm just trying to build relationships, okay, there's probably a different avenue we can go to approach that. So understanding, number one, the why factor, why you do something with somebody. It also helps you as a producer or something, whether or not you're going to mesh well with this person. I mean, it's not just all about taking on clients, but it's also how are you going to work well with that individual or this corporation that might want to hire you to help them. It's like, I mean, if someone were trying to reach out to you guys, I'm just using it as an example, right? And they know nothing about manufacturing. They know nothing about what B2B is or where, just anything, right? They're more in the space of being an artist. I mean, how do you take that and say, well, that's really not my forte? So I think understanding the why and saying, okay, I know what it is you want to do. I think we will be a good fit or not. And maybe I can help you find the individual that you need that will probably work better with what you're trying to do overall objective wise. And that's why, like, I think that's the first thing you got to ask anybody else, right? And then secondly, once you get to that point of, okay, I understand your why. Now the next thing is, okay, let's find out what your expectations are. Because here's the thing about live streaming, and when I talk about video production and live streaming, it's a long game, folks. If you're expecting instant turnaround, you're not going to be satisfied. You're probably going to, again, that's why I say I got to understand your why, number one, and then I got to understand what your expectations are. Because it is not something that's going to be easily turned over unless you just have a celebrity backing behind you, which I don't know, and many of us that do. You're not going to find that magic right off the bat. It's going to take time. You have to build traction. So that's why understanding what your expectations are. Hey, I'm looking for this many people, this many followers, this many, all this other stuff. Woo, I don't know if that's just what I'm going to be able to help you with, because you're going to need other instruments apart from live streaming. They're going to help you do it. You're probably going to need a social media strategist. You're going to probably need, a branding company that's going to help. You're going to have all these other things in place. So understanding what your expectations are, I think that's the next part about it. And I think once you start getting to that point, then you can get down to the nuts and bolts of, now let's get your show strategy down. Let's get down to what you are going to be able to talk about better than anybody else. And that's where, once you have, again, the why, the expectations, and now you know what you're going to be doing with your content, I think then you're really ready to explode and approach on how to do a show. Because then you have everything, then I think everything there is already pretty open and transparent. Everything's clear cut. You have a really great understanding of how we can approach every single session that we do, every single live stream, and create what we can do with the content after. Those are all things that have to play into the idea behind it. And I think, the magic in being able to do this is understanding those things. And it's pretty simple. You could probably write them down on a sheet of paper. And they've always been here. We've known these since childhood, since we've been taught them. And that's the 5 W's, right? The who, what, where, when, and why. You understand all of those things. If you can write those down very clearly on a sheet of paper and kind of then express them to somebody that you want to work with, you're going to have a really good relationship. You're probably going to be pretty successful at what you want to do as a creator and what you want to put out content-wise. And I think that's the magic in me being able to, what I do as a creator is I figure out whether or not this individual is going to work with me well or not. And then at that point, being honest about it and finding the person that can. That's the wonderful thing about having a big, wide network of other creators, producers or other people that do this, because you know what? I'm not the only one that does this. Yep. But I know the right individual that probably will be able to work with you, because they're going to understand what you want to do, your mindset, your expectations better than I can. And I think that's, if you understand that, again, you're not going to run into this 5 episodes into what you already started creating, that, man, we just have created differences. This is not going to work. Where the frustration sets in because it's not what you want. So I think you have to be very clear cut about what your expectations are from your client, and then what your expectations are for yourself as a producer, and saying, this is what I do. This is exactly my methodology of how it works. And that's why I said all of us can, that all of us have the ability to go out here and create, but when you get to the point of where you now want to start adding second, third, fourth individuals into kind of what you do and building out a team, then you have to start thinking more widely with your mindset of like what you want out of everything that you do. And I think that's where the process, when you get to that point, guess what? Your process of creating content has matured, and you are ready to really expand, because there are things, I'm going to tell you, that even as a one-man team, you have to start learning how to delegate, or you're going to literally burn yourself out, because there's so much that goes into this. After a certain threshold, there's a certain plateau that you reach where it's like, now am I just doing this as no longer a hobby, or is this now a way to kind of, again, grow and develop a brand, a business, these sort of things. So then it's like anything in business, you look at scaling. I always tell people, I always use this example, like starting out a small lemonade stand. Pretty simple to set up. Booth, cardboard, lemonade, right? But then you start getting, again, people start showing up. Then you have to say, hey man, I'm sold out of lemonade today. Now what do you have to do? Then you have to start making more. You have to start finding ways to produce more, batch more, build out more. And then the whole process starts. So it can all start out very simplistic. But you also, again, there's a point where it gets to scaling where all of a sudden now I got to set up 2 tables because I got more people showing up every day. I got to get somebody else to help me to service all these people. I got a line of like 10, 20 people now wanting to buy lemonade. The longer they wait, the more they're probably going to be able to walk away. So that's how all this stuff, the same concept, what we do here, it scales. It starts out as you with our lemonade stand. We've done live streams, we've done shows, and now all of a sudden people start finding, again, very interesting. They're like, how do I get on your show? How do I do what you do? And all of a sudden, hey, do you do it for other people? And then that's the question when you get it to that point, it's like, okay, now it's time to start looking at the other avenues. So I think for me, again, real quickly, what my superpower is just knowing and understanding myself very well as a creator and as a producer. And I think knowing that helps me able to help and service other people a heck of a lot better. So
yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
Dude,
thanks.
Well said, man. That was just what a way to wrap up.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. And again, for anybody out there, combination things. If you're looking to do LinkedIn Live for the first time, could be a little intimidating, a little overwhelming. It's wonderful having an expert like Gabe, like Damon just said. Gabe was his go-to for expert advice on how to get his multiple LinkedIn Lives going. So again, follow Gabe on LinkedIn. Sign up for his newsletter. Strongly encourage you to do that. And for multiple reasons. Number one, to follow all the incredible LinkedIn Live content creators out there. Number two, this is an outstanding case study of generosity, building a community, really being a pioneer, being a champion, a leader, a go-giver. And Gabe, you are, I know you're a super modest guy. You are all of the above. We salute you for what you're doing for the LinkedIn Live community. Again, follow his hashtag, LinkedIn live stream. So, Gabe, I know you're super busy. Thank you for taking your time to share your passion and expertise with us today.
Man.
And man, this was just, oh my God, you were just a breath of fresh air.
I know, it was awesome.
Anytime that I get to share, man. Anytime that I get to share, that's the whole, that's the whole deal about it, man.
We were all blessed. Yeah, we were all blessed to just take all this and say, what a great Good Friday this was.
Working out.
So why don't we wrap up on that, guys? We wish everybody, whatever holiday that you celebrate, go out there, have a wonderful, glorious weekend. Spend time with your family, your loved ones. Stay safe. Keep crushing it. Get on LinkedIn Live. Connect with Gabe, my brother from another mother. This guy over here. This guy over here, you got to connect with. This guy over here, you got to connect with. So, Damon,
this is hard. I tell you, if StreamYard can fix anything and get that fixed.
We've got two pistols on. We got your brother.
Well, yeah, that's just funny as heck. That's funny as heck. And he would do that. He would do that.
He's probably waiting for it. He goes,
yeah. That was awesome. That was awesome. But no, thanks so much for being here today, Gabe. I mean, and people that you do need to reach out to him, and you are just an awesome example of go-giver. You're helping people, and just I can't recommend to follow you to LinkedIn live stream enough. And thanks so much for being here today.
Man, anytime, gentlemen.
Thanks everyone else for being here. Appreciate y'all listening to us every week, and just being here. We'll be back again next week. Have a great rest of your weekend.